Hey bros, how's it going? This is PewDiePie from the Blue Moons Gaming channel. This video is all dedicated to the Jiang Jun character coming in Matching Fire, Big J. Right now I actually need to play a game because I don't have any footage with his new feats. Oh, I'm lagging. Yo, look at this. Beautiful gameplay. Yep. Jesus. Okay, let's move on to his feats. This is all suggestions, basically. So his first feat, terrible feat. All the feats have the same exact radius, so not much to talk about there. His first feat is terrible. As you saw right there, it has a humongous startup that can be super easily interrupted. It lasts for only like 5 seconds, and the damage buff is only like 4 damage if you're getting ganked by all 4 enemies. So, terrible feat, clearly need buff, clearly needs some sort of reason for me to use it, because it's better if I use Deadly or Quick Revive. Now, his second feat has a very decent range as well. It's the same one. I haven't really used it. I don't know if it's good or not. But, you know, if there's a good team fight going on and you have a pre-made, it might be a very useful feat. I just don't really see like it's better than Inspire, because Inspire makes you do more damage. So it's okay, it's an okay feat. It's new. It's interesting. Now moving on to his third feat. It's my favorite feat, the range. So it's the same as the first one, and he heals you and your teammates the same, depending on how many enemies there are. So if there's no enemies, it heals you for like 20 health or so. If there's one enemy, it'll heal you for like 30. If there's 2 enemies, for like 50. 3 for like... No, if there's 2 for like 40. And then 50 for free. And then like 60 or 70 if there's like 3 enemies. So it's a very good feat. It's very amazing for team fights. The only problem on it is that it has a very big startup. They can very easily be interrupted. But the cooldown is very short, as you can see. So, very useful feat. Absolutely love it. Moving on to his last feat. I mean, you can't see it here in a custom match, but it's the same radius as this. You can put it wherever you want. So, anyone that enters that circle will go exhausted or leaves the circle. Anyone that crosses the circle in any way, I don't know about Shaolin teleports, but any other normal way, you will get stunned and exhausted if you're from the opposite team, of course, forgot to mention. So overall, it's an okay feat. All you gotta do to counter it is not go in or out. So it's not that great of a feat. I'd rather just use Fire Flask, because that really forces the enemy to actually not go in the area that I want. But it's a decent feat. So moving into actual suggestions to its kit, my first and biggest complaint is his heavies. They are very inconsistent. They can hit people that are directly behind him, even on this animation. As you saw right there, nothing of the weapon hit behind me, but anyone that was behind me would get hit. But people that are, for example, okay, so this is my 0-degree angle, this is my 90-degree angle. People that are in between, sometimes they get hit, sometimes they don't. It's very inconsistent. It's very weird. I don't like it. I hope they fix it. But they got a month to figure it out and make it work. So that's my first and biggest complaint. Moving on to Sifu Poise. I want it so you can actually switch between doing a left side zone or the right side zone. Because right now, you only got one option off of this, and it's the left side zone. People can just block or parry that super easily. It's 600 milliseconds. So even though it's a 28 damage zone, and you can actually do it off of dodging an attack, it's just super predictable. If you're getting ganked, it's super predictable. Either you go for a zone or you don't do anything. And if you actually Sifu Poise the guy attacking you, then the other guy, if you try to attack him, he just parries your attack, because it always comes from the right side. So hopefully the devs will pick up on this and make it so that you can either do the right side zone or the left side zone. I mean, the animation is just the same, and I think it works perfectly fine. And that's my only suggestion for Sifu Poise. I think it's a overall decent mechanic than I mean balanced mechanic. It just needs some sort of more versatility, because only having one move off of it coming from the same side, always the same speed. Now, moving on to my final and most ambitious suggestion, which is making it so you can chain your openers into zone. So I do a light, then I either go for an unblockable, or I go for another light. People can easily pick up on that. If they see flames, they don't block or try to parry as quickly as if they don't see flames. So if I do an attack, if they see flames, they know it's an unblockable. If they don't see flames, they know it's a 500 millisecond light that can be very easily parried. You can actually delay it, make it much quicker. But in high level play, there's still the same problem. If there's no flames, you know it's a light, so you can parry it and then get your max punish off of it. So my suggestion is that you can actually chain the opener into zone. You can't do it right now. I'm trying and I can't. He always goes for the heavy. So if I do a light, I can then instantly do my zone. It works perfectly fine with the character idea. He's meant to be like this. He's meant to counter a lot of players. He's meant for team fight. So it makes sense for him to be able to chain his heavies or his lights into zone. And the animation, again, it works perfectly fine. I don't see a problem with the animation. It would make him a lot more versatile on team fights. Again, it's not an ideal thing. I think it's a completely fair new addition. Now my last suggestion is that he should be able to target swap his zone. Now, this is very weird to say it like this. So basically, if I'm playing a Warden and I'm looking on a guy that is right here, right in front of me, but there's another guy right here. Let's imagine this is a normal map with nothing, like there's no ledges. I can easily click out, target switch to this guy and do my zone, instead of having to lock on the guy and then doing a zone. It's hard to do it without players around, and I have the footage, but it's hard to explain it with footage anyway. So basically, if I'm playing Warden, I can just target swap and do zone on this guy. But with Jiang Jun, you actually need to complete the target swap for your zone to actually go on this guy. You can't just instantly zone this guy, for example, like I just did. You will still do the zone on this guy. This also happens on his parry punish. So if you parry an opponent, you get a gun-blockable zone. The problem is that this zone will always go to the last guy you parried. And so if you're getting ganked by like 3 people, imagine there's 2 players right here, and then there's a 3rd player behind me. If I parry the 3rd player last, I cannot do the zone on these 2 guys, and so I lose DPS. That's all my suggestions. I try to make it as brief and quick as possible. Jiang Jun is an amazing character when it comes to fun. He's a very fun character. And it's just some small tweaks that I would like to see him have. Hope you enjoyed the video. Jiang Jun montage coming soon. See ya, guys.